Okay, let's get this going. So this is your review sheet, which I don't know, it looks too easy. Well, let's give it a shot. Which of the following has a value that is less than zero? Now, well, first of all, which of the following has a value that is that is less than zero? That should be the correct form. And well, let's go one by one. Absolute value of -7 is 7. That is not less than 0. Absolute value of 7 is also 7. That is not less than 0. -7 is below 0. It's definitely a value less than 0, smaller than 0. This is just 7. So this is a no. This is a no. This is a no. Correct answer. -7. The low temperatures. Blah, 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 blah. Which of these shows these temperature in order from least to greatest? Oh my god. All right, so least. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 temperatures. You can put this on a number line if you like. It's small enough that I can create a number line. Okay, the numbers are not big. You will have bigger numbers than this on the test. So 4, -1, -2, -3, -4. -1 is here. -2 is here. 4 is over here. And 0 is over here. So from left to right, -2 being your smallest, 4 being your greatest, the order is -1, -2, sorry, -1, 0, and 4. -2, -1, 0, and 4. This doesn't make sense. Letter B doesn't make sense because 0 is definitely greater than -1, so that's out of order. This one also doesn't make sense because it starts with -1. -2 is the smallest value. And D definitely is not right because it starts with 4. 4 is the biggest value. So the only correct one is A. February, blah, blah, blah. There was a record. It was -47. Where was this? Iowa. Oh my God, it's really cold. The temperature the next day was a little warmer, which could have been the temperature. So I'm going to draw a number line. Okay. And let's just assume -47 is all the way down here, right? Temperature is your thermometer. And let's just assume the 0 is over here. So to be warmer, it would be anything in that direction. Any number that's above -47 would be a warmer temperature. It could be -46, -45, -44. It could be -1. It'd be a little bit warmer. Definitely a lot warmer than -47. So any number that's above -47 would have been a warmer temperature than -47. So -51. -51 is down here, so that would have been a colder day, out. -49 is also below, so that would be a colder day, so that's out. -47 would have been just the same temperature, so also out. And -45 is above -47, so that would be warmer. Not by much, but a little bit warmer. So the answer is D. 4. The location of two buildings are shown, blah, blah, blah. Building 1 is located at -3, 3, right here. The other one is 4 and 3. What is the distance? Well, because this is a multiple choice, you can literally count. Okay, so now you got to be careful, making sure that what are the units from box to box. And this is each box. Well, so this is -1, -3. So each box is a unit of 1. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 kilometers. Or if you're doing this with absolute value, which just in case you can't see or something, -3 and sorry, I'll do so -3 and 3. It's building 1, and the other one is 4 and 3, which is building 2. So this is building 1, building 2. What do they have? They're both on the same level, same y level, so they're both on 3. Right, so you want to take the absolute value of these guys here. So absolute value of -3 is 3, and the absolute value of 4 is 4. What does that mean? It means that building 1 to the y-axis, right, this distance right here up to the y-axis is 3, and building 2 to the y-axis again is 4. So the distance between building 1 and building 2 is this plus this, 3 plus 4, which is 7. Remember, they're in different quadrants, so we're going to add. So the total distance is 7. And our final answer is D. 5. The city of Delville is represented, blah, 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 which coordinate plane, which quadrant. So, if this is your test, I would have done this. I would label quadrant 1. I would call this quadrant 2. I would call this quadrant 3. Quadrant 4. I'd have then taken the point 3, negative 2, and I would start at the origin, right? 3 means positive, right? So 3 positive means I go 1, 2, 3. And then I have to decide if I go up and down. The second number is negative 2, so I'm going to go down. 1, 2. So there is my estimated location of the point 3, negative 2. And then what quadrant is it on? Quadrant 4. And that would have been my answer. So you can do this on the test. There's no reason why you can't what do you call, create a coordinate plane and just move it around so that you know where you are. Or if you memorize the characteristics, you know that in quadrant 4, the first number is positive, the second number is negative. Okay, so you got choices here. 6. The wind chill temperatures, blah, blah, blah. What is it? From least to greatest again. And in this case, they want the name of the city. So we want to know which one is the coldest, right? The least, so the coldest to warmest again. You can create a number line like this, or thermometer. So here's 0, here's 1, here's 2 positive, 3 positive, 4 positive, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and here's be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. Oh, by the way, these are all negatives. Okay, so start counting, and you can count by, I don't know, if you don't want to count, you can try to approximate your location. And with negative numbers, the bigger the number, the further away you are from 0. So the furthest number out of these 4 points would be negative 7.2, which would be about here, right? And then the second furthest number away from 0 would be negative 6.7, which is somewhere around there. And then negative 6.1, and negative 5.4. So you can tell in order, okay, this coldest one, the further down you are, further away from 0 you are, the colder it is. So the coldest temperature is 7.2, second temperature is 6.7, third coldest temperature is 6.1, and the fourth coldest, or the warmest temperature, is 5.4. So let me put names next to this. 7.2 is Moncton. Where is this? 6.7 is Somerville, maybe New Jersey. 6.1 is Gaspé. Nope. And negative 5.4 is Hillen. Okay, no idea what this is. So let's see. So we went from least to greatest, right? The least temperature is Moncton. So anything that's not is Moncton. So let me eliminate B. That's gone. Let me eliminate D. That's gone because it doesn't start with Moncton. So Moncton, the second coldest was Somerville. And here we are, Somerville. So Moncton, Somerville. Third coldest is Gaspé. So check, check. And this is not Gaspé, so that's gone. And last one is Hillen. So from coldest to warmest. Okay. And our correct answer is C. Okay, so remember with negative numbers, okay, the bigger the number, the colder it is. 7, which situation could be represented by the integer positive 6? Well, positive 6, let's see, a team loses 6 yards, loses has a connotation, so you're going backwards, so that would be negative 6, so this is not it. A golfer scores 6 over par. I'm going to leave that for later. A town is 6 feet under sea level, so that would be negative 6, so that's gone. A video game player loses 6 points. That's also gone. To lose is negative 6. But the only one that's left is 6 over par. And I don't actually like this question because not too many of you, I believe, play golf. But those of you who do play golf, you would understand that 6 over par would be plus 6. But hopefully, I don't think there's a question on the test that has it's golf related or has an answer that's golf related, which I would definitely take out. So this question you could have eliminated, gone by elimination, okay, and you would have been left with B. Okay, so likewise in golf, if there's 6 over par, you could be 6 under par, and under means negative, right? And that would have been negative 6. Okay, so actually golf, the lower you are, the better your score is. Okay, so that's what you had to understand that from golf to begin with. 8 on the map, Justin County. Post office located at 6, negative 6 and 4. Okay, so again, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a coordinate plane. All right, and that's the what? The post office. So negative 6 and 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is sort of negative 6 and 4, right? And I can imagine that. Okay, so maybe on the test you want to create something like this. And it says that we're going to go east. Well, you do not need to know north, south, west, and east. So east means we're going that direction. So from negative 6, 4, if you go east, where would you go? 3 units east. So we're gonna go from here. We're negative 6, right? We're negative 6 to the left. We're gonna go back 1, negative 5, go back another one, negative 4, go back another one, negative 3. So we would be a negative 3, and would still be at this level, which is 4. So when we go to the right 3 units, we would end up at negative 3 and 4. So the answer to this one would be negative 3, comma 4. Okay. The normal temperature during January for Alaska is negative 8.6. So that's a normal low temperature. It's pretty cold. Between what 2 integers does this temperature lie? What 2 integers? So integers, remember, here are your counting numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, notice these are all nice whole numbers, no fractions, no decimals. Your whole numbers, the only difference between the counting and the whole numbers have a 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Your integers, it's all of the above, or all the whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, and my negatives, negative 1, negative 2, and again, all. So the whole numbers and their opposites, that's why my integer. So I want to know between what 2 integers is negative 8.6. Well, this was a number line, okay, and that was 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9. Where would 8.6 be? Well, if you start counting negative towards the left, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 7, negative 7.5, negative 8, negative 8.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. Negative 8.6 would be somewhere over here, okay, between 8 and 9. I mean, even if this was positive, where's 8.6? Where does 8.6, between what 2 integers with 8.6? Well, 8.6 would be between 8 and 9. And likewise, in the negatives, negative 8.6 would be between negative 8 and negative 9. So the answer to that would be between negative 8 and negative 9. Okay. The high temperature on Friday was negative 3. What's the absolute value of negative 3? Seriously? The absolute value of negative 3 is 3, because we're looking for the distance. The negative 3 is away from 0, and negative 3 is 3 units away from 0, and that's the absolute value. Okay. 11. So 11, we sort of discussed this in class, or just to make it more clear. I think the picture is better over here. So Lindsay, she's here at A, which is the Asian Arts Initiative at 2 and 5, so she's here, right now, and she wants to walk. Where does she want to? Historic Society, which is down here. So she wants to go from A to 5. And she wants to go to B to -4. Right? So hopefully here, here's your origin. So definitely, here's your x-axis, right? So you know that point A is in quadrant 1, point H is in quadrant 4. So definitely these two are in different quadrants. So if you want to find the distance between 2 points in 2 different quadrants, I don't know if this is clear enough for you to count. You can count, and let's try that. So if you count and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it seems like it's 9 blocks, 9 units. And we have that as a multiple choice. It's D, but I'm going to use absolute value just to confirm. We're not gonna. This is in common, right? So they're both here on this on 2. So we're not taking the absolute value of that, but we're taking the absolute value of 5 and 4. They're y values. So absolute value of 5 is 5. Absolute value of -4 is 4. We add those two, and again we have a confirmation. These two, whether you're counting or taking the absolute value, they match, and we get 9 blocks. Okay. Numero 12, place the following in order from least to greatest. Okay, so again, least to greatest in negatives, the higher your number, the lower you are, right? Smaller your value. So it's -245. Cross this out, comma, -125, comma, -101, comma, -98, comma, -77, comma, and then it's 32, comma, and 54. The number, so from least to greatest, this looks correct because the number on the right is always bigger than the number on the left. 54 is bigger than 32, check. 32 is greater than -77, check. This is greater than -98. -98 is greater than -101. 101 is greater than -125, and 125 negative is greater than 245. So from least to greatest, here is my order. Okay. Point -7, 1 represents the location of a fountain on a map of a park. In which quadrant does it lie? Again, I will do this. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And -7 would be from the origin. I walk 7 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd be there. And 1 positive means I go up 1. So here is my location. There's my fountain right here. Okay. So that puts that in Q2, quadrant 2. Okay, so I definitely do something like this to find out. And again, you either can do this, or you know your characteristics from each quadrant. And in quadrant 2, the x-coordinate is negative and the y-coordinate is positive. And if you knew that, you would automatically know it's in quadrant 2. So you have choices again. Scuba diving. Amelia explored the ocean, and so again, guys, it's always nice to draw. Okay, it won't hurt to draw. So here's the 0, the surface of the water. And Miss Amelia, she's at -30 feet, right? It's 30 feet. She's all the way down there scuba diving. Ricardo was closer to the water, to the surface of the water. So this is Amelia right here. Ricardo is here in any space between Amelia and the surface of the water. So any space here. Okay, which describes Ricardo? So as long as Ricardo is here or here or here or here, anywhere in these marks that I'm putting, he's closer to the surface of the water, right? So depth of greater than -30, depth of greater than 30 feet. Okay, depth of greater than 30 feet doesn't make sense because 30 feet is here, which is positive. Okay, so you can't scuba dive above the water, so that's gone. Okay, depth of less than 30 feet. Ugh. I don't like that also because anything that has 30 feet, first of all, It can't be. Even if it's less, and it could be the right answer, it could be at less than 30 feet, which would be any of these numbers here, even up to here, right, where I made the marks. But first of all, you can't scuba dive up here, so that's also gone. And now we got two choices. Depth of greater than negative 30 or depth of less than negative 30. So, where can Ricardo be? Well, Ricardo is going to be in this section, right? Any of these points could be Ricardo's location. So what is his number compared to negative 30 feet? Is it less than negative 30 feet or greater than negative 30? So the answer has to be a depth of less. Why am I talking less? Depth of less than negative 30 feet. And I'm choosing this. So he has to be less than negative 30 feet. So I don't know, negative 29, negative 28, negative 15, negative 10. Any depth in this section would make him closer to the water. Okay, it can't be greater than negative 30 because that would put him below Amelia. Okay, and I can't say the word depth. 15, a city's elevation. So there's a city. Here's the below sea level. It's 100 feet below sea level. Which two integers is this elevation line? So 140. So you have to be careful, first of all, with the answer here. A city's elevation is 140.2 below sea level. So first of all, the city is located here. So imagine if this is the water, okay? That's the water, and somehow, I don't know, somehow, let me try this again. So this is sea level. So imagine there's land, and all of a sudden, I don't know, it takes a dip over here, and here's, let's call it town, right? And the town is at 140.2 because it's below sea level, so its location is negative 140.2 below sea level. So that's what you first had to understand. 2, it's going to be between two integers, and these two integers are going to obviously be negative. So 140.2 is between what two numbers? Well, it's going to be between negative 140 and negative 141. So this number is between this and this integer. Okay. If it was positive, think about it, 140.2. 140.2 is between what two whole numbers? Well, 140.2 is between 140 and 141, right? Think about dollars. $140.20 is between what two whole numbers here? It's between 140 and 141. Likewise, negative, it's going to be the same thing, but just the opposite, okay? It's going to be between negative 140 and negative 141. So tricky question here for number 15, because some of you might actually could have put 140 and 141 if you didn't read this carefully. Okay, so the first thing you needed to know was the actual location of the town was negative 140.2, not positive 140.2, and that the two integers in which it lies between is negative 140 and negative 141. Maybe this is not as easy as I thought. The table below shows the average temperature in 4 cities. Which city has the highest average temperature? What? I take that back. Highest average temperature. So highest, hottest. Yeah. Okay, so the highest temperature is the highest number. Okay, in this case, the negatives are out. Now you're stuck between these two positive numbers. Which of these two positive numbers is greater? 15.7. So that makes Clifton, this town or the city, with the highest average temperature in January. I gotta put a bonus word somewhere around here. I gotta put it now. No, still got. So each unit in the coordinate plane represents 1 mile. What is the distance from the grocery to the dry cleaners? Okay, so again, You can count, just be really careful. Recognize what each box represents first. If you're going to do it by counting, this is a multiple choice. I'm really not going to check your work on a multiple choice. But know that in this case, each box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is going by ones. Okay, each box representing 1. So if you were to count from the dry cleaners to the grocery, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We do have a 12 over here. If you can't count and you're not sure, you can always do absolute value. The dry cleaners is at what? If the dry cleaners location is 7, negative 7, negative 2. Okay, I'll put a D for dry cleaners. The grocery store is at negative 5 and negative 2. Right? We have this, the y coordinates are the same, so we're going to take the absolute value of 7 and negative 5. The absolute value of 7 is 7. The absolute value of, I'll write that down like this, and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. And because they're on different quadrants, we're going to add, and we get 12. So this distance here, okay, is 7. This distance here is 5, and we add those two different distances, and we get 12. And the correct answer is 17. Okay, so just be careful with that. The town, again, what quadrant is 11, 1? So coordinate plane. From the origin, I'm going to walk to the right 11 units. Okay, and then I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to be here. And what quadrant is that point located? This would be Q1, or quadrant 1. 19. So let's just make this. Can't make a straight line. Let's try again. And the Ferris wheel is located at 3 and 2, so let me go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 1, 2 up. Here's my Ferris wheel on 3, 2. I'll put an F over there for Ferris wheel. And I need to go south 5 units. So, and where would I be? To go south 5 units, right? My x coordinate is going to be the same. I'm still going to be on 3 over to the right. I'm just going to go down 5. So I know when I go 1, 2, I'm back on the x-axis. Then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's 5. So this, I'm going to land on negative 3, right? Right, this spot right here would be negative 3. So I'm still on the x-axis. I'm still on the 3 on the x-axis. But on the y-axis, I went from the second floor. So imagine you're on the second floor and you have to take 5, the elevator 5 down. You would go second floor, first floor, 0, 4, ground level, negative 1, negative 2, negative third floor. And that's where you'll be located. Okay. Uh, 20. She took away 20 bucks from her account. What integer represents this withdrawal? So to take away money, it's something that affects your account negatively, and it's negative 20. Okay. And where are we? 21. The freezing point of bromine or bromine is negative 7.2 between what two integers? So negative, think about 7.2 positive. 7.2 is between what two whole numbers? Well, it's between positive 7 and positive 8. On the negative, it's also going to be in the same, but just backwards. It's going to be between negative 7 and negative 8. And 7.2 negative is going to be between negative 7 and negative 8. So the answer to this is negative 7 and negative 8. Okay. So, in a second, where during the first round of a board game, Alejandro lost 8 points. What does negative 8 represent in this situation? Absolute value of negative 8. Well, absolute value negative 8, it represents, oh, he lost 8 points. Absolute. Wow, weird question. What does negative absolute value negative? First of all, absolute value of negative 8 is 8. So let's get that out of the way. And what does that represent in this game situation? That he lost 8 points. He didn't go back 8 points, eight spaces back. You know, like going back when you're playing a game, you can move back a few spaces. It says he lost 8 points. So I'm not too sure what this. I'll try to figure out and discuss it with you guys in class. Or tell you what happens with this particular point. And 23. 23 is a map of the center of the city. Which other pair represents the library? Wow. Well, this is going by ones. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is. So 4 to the right and up 1. 4, 1. And the library is 4, 1. That's that for 23. Right. Hard question. 24. Which situation could be represented by the integer -2? A football team gains. So gains is represented by plus, right? Something that you earn, something that you gain, something you get more of. So that's +2. So that's not it. A golfer score is 2 over as opposed to under. Under would be negative, over would be above. So that's also plus. A city is 2 feet below sea level. Below has a negative connotation, so that would be negative. A student earns 2 bonus points. Okay, so that's something that you got more in addition to, so that would be plus. So the only one that has a negative touch to it is letter C. Okay. I'm gonna pause this video for a second. And the back. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, no. Hang on a second. There you go. So here is your bonus word. And of course, in honor of, no, actually I'm not going to write it there. Right here. Okay. There you go. Hopefully you'll see it on Thursday. Those of you lucky enough, just don't tell me anything, because I'm not going to see it till next week. And the last question, is probably be your favorite question, where you're asked to draw a number line, and you need to draw a number line. Okay, remember, don't put numbers that you don't need there. So look at your positive side, see how far you go. Look at your negative side, see how far you need to go. So I'm looking at my positive number, a very tiny positive number. So I'm going to go 0 here and 1. I don't need anything. So if that's money, and this is $0 and this is $1, it just says 6 cents. Well, in the middle here is 50 cents, so 6 cents must be really close to 0. So 0.06. It's the first thing I'll do. That's out. Right? I don't need anything above that. So that's 0.06 or 6 cents. Negatives. Let's see, I need to go, well, there's 2 and 1/5. So I need to go quite a little bit more. So I need a -1. I'm going to need a -2. And I'm going to need a -3. Let's start with, are there any easy ones? Well, -1.9. Well, let's start counting. 0, -50, -1, -150, 160, 170, 180, 190. So right here is -1.9. I'll cross that out. Another easy one. Well, 2/3. If you do 2/3 and you divide 2 divided by 3, and by now, hopefully, you should know decimal goes in 6 times 18. You notice it's going to repeat again if I add a 0 and bring it down. 0.66, negative 66 cents. Where is negative 66 or is negative 0.6? Here's 0. Here's negative 1. Right in the middle is negative 50. So negative 66 is just a little bit to the left. And here's 2/3, or 0.6. Right? Better yet, I actually like it, 0.66 to the hundreds. That's gone. 2 1/5. Do you know what 1/5 is as a decimal? If you don't know what 2 1/5 is, you can change it. You can divide again 1 divided by 5, or you know that 2 1/5, so it's between -2 and -3. And if you divide -2 and -3 into 5 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, you beat -2 and 1/5. So just approximately, you should be over here. If you put it close to 3, you're not going to get it correct. So at least somewhere over there. That might be too much even. Okay, but that's negative 1/5. And finally, we have negative 1 4/5. And again, negative 1 4/5. So I'll change that. Divide. 5 does not go into 4. Add a 0. Add a decimal. Add a decimal. Add a 0. 5 goes into 48 times. Look at that. Or 0.8. So I can change negative 1 4/5 to negative 1.8 or 1.80 if that's easier for you to understand. So negative 1.8, it's between negative 1 and negative 2. So think of money. This is negative $1, negative $1.10, 20, 30, and negative $1.50 is right here in the middle. $1.60, $1.70, $1.80. So here is negative 1 4/5 or negative 1.80. Either way you want to look at it. So that would be sort of my number line with the numbers labeled. You would definitely get a question like that. Okay, you just have to be careful. That's it, and it should be a very simple test. And that's all.